Piranha means family.
When life gets you down, you know what you gotta do?
I don't want to know what you gotta do.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Hakuna Matata. Ain't no passing craze.
Hello, friends. It is your favorite time of the entire day, and that is time to listen to the Disney Plus Us podcast. Ooh. But what is a Disney Plus Us podcast?
What is it?
We are a podcast dedicated to the Disney Plus streaming service. We cover the news. We cover what's coming up and what's going to be added to the playlist, the giant catalog of Disney Plus. But we also
are watching every single Disney animated feature in chronological order. Each episode is dedicated to a different Disney movie. We'll watch it. We'll talk about it.
And today, my friends, you have landed on Hercules.
Hercules.
Oh
yes.
My goodness.
Yes. I'm excited for this.
Fun.
Yeah.
I can't even believe it. Hercules. We've watched a lot of movies to get here.
Yeah. We're in what, like the mid to late 90s now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've gone through decades and decades and decades of like 60 years of movies.
Wow.
To get us here.
And my all-time favorite movie, Disney animated Hunchback
of Notre Dame.
Which last episode, if you haven't heard it, definitely give it a listen.
Is it still your favorite movie?
It was great. I loved it.
Okay.
Did you look over at me while watching and I had this childish
You were in a trance.
Yes.
You were reliving your childhood.
It was so good. Anyway, Hercules. Wait, hold on. My lovely wife.
Mm-hmm.
How are you?
Thank you for asking. That's so kind.
Yeah.
I am doing fantastic. I'm trying to think of anything exciting to update the fine people out there, but unfortunately we are still under a pandemic. I did cut Jay's hair last week, and my hair was getting so incredibly long that I did a very brave thing, which was to let Jay cut my hair.
Let me tell you, the head games, the risk and the reward on Andrea versus cutting my hair versus Jay cutting Andrea's hair, it's not exactly the same. It feels like if I screwed things up, it would be a much heavier blow.
Whereas if I screw up, Jay's like, nah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. There was a point where there were tears because I thought maybe he had cut it too short.
No. Never, my love.
But he actually did a really nice job, and now my hair is shorter and takes much less shampoo to wash.
This shampoo savings money alone has been great.
Yeah, so thank you, Jay, for cutting my hair.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Jay, how are you doing?
Thank you for asking. My time has been sucked up because now that I'm done with my computer upgrade, I found a fun program because now you have to get a new program to play with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's called RPG Maker. And it's available on Windows and Macintosh and like consoles, I think.
Oh.
And what this does, it allows anybody to program their own RPG game, a video game. And it's still pretty big, pretty complex, but also pretty darn simple, where you can just draw a map or write a story, write prompts, write simple cues. And it's been a lot of fun, more fun than I thought I would have. And I'm further along in the game than I thought I would be. So it's actually been a fun addiction and a creative endeavor because I can be like, oh, I want this asset. I can make this asset. Here we go. And alabakazam, I have a toilet flushing sound effect in my game, you know. So,
He has spent a lot of time.
yes.
Yeah.
But it's been fun.
They're working on it. So it looks really cool so far. I'm excited to see it finish.
It'll be a secret until it's revealed.
Yes.
The next great game. Anyway, so this is a point in the show where we normally talk about the news. We do have some news, but it's nothing we haven't brought up before. I mean, we could easily talk about all the rumors and all the drama going on with the firing of Gina. What's her last name? Yeah.
We kind of talked about that already.
Yeah.
We could talk about the great reviews that Raya and the Last Dragon is getting, which it comes out next week.
This Friday.
This coming weekend.
Yeah, this Friday.
Which I'm excited for that, but I think I want to wait to talk about it until we see the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could also talk about the Mighty Ducks series, but we've done that many times.
Yeah.
So today we have a surprise for you.
So I found, this is not news, by the way. We're not playing the news bumper.
Hey, can I play a bumper that I've had on this machine
Yeah.
for ages?
Okay.
I've never actually got to play it.
I have no idea what bumper you're talking about.
Here it goes.
This smells.
Really?
What? It's been sitting there the whole time.
You made that, though. What segment did you intend that to head up?
I don't know. A crappy movie. I don't know. It was funny when we used Fiverr to buy the Princess voice. I thought, what else? Because
What else could we have her say?
We have a word limit,
Yeah.
and this smells is only 2 words. So just know at any time, if you're an avid listener of this show, that's at our fingertips and could make an appearance. So with that,
Okay, yeah.
with that happening,
I'm glad you headed up my segment here with that.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so Jay, we're going to play a game.
I like games.
I'm going to read you a plot line from a movie.
A movie.
From the villain's perspective.
Villain's perspective.
These are all Disney movies
Okay.
that we have watched. And you have to guess what Disney movie
I like this.
based on this.
It's kind of topsy-turvy.
So here's one.
Got it.
My stepdaughter was plotting to take the throne for herself, so I tried to stop her by poisoning her.
Wow. I mean, when you say it like that, it almost
Seems reasonable.
almost
yeah.
sounds reasonable. Stepdaughter is kind of throwing me. I know poison. Poison's only a few.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might go. Is it Snow White?
It's Snow White. That's the evil queen. Totally makes sense when she says it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All
Okay,
right,
so
check
here's another one. My spoiled niece came to me for help. She was disobeying her father. She was chasing a man she just met. Then, when I helped her, she immediately called my brother to come punish me.
Again, sounds legit. I don't know what I'm sure help is in quotes here. I don't know the brother to come help. Is this?
I'll give you a hint. They don't disclose that this is a brother-sister relationship in the movie.
Oh, gosh, that makes it hard. It's not Beauty and the Beast, is it? I have no idea.
Ursula from The Little Mermaid.
Ah, Ursula.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, here's another one for you.
Okay.
My crush shut me down several times, and then she was kidnapped. When I went to rescue her, she said she didn't want my help and that she had fallen for her kidnapper.
My crush asked for help.
She shut me down several times.
So she is the crush that shut her down. So
it's a guy speaking.
a guy
Yeah.
villain. A guy villain.
My crush shut me down several times, and she's kidnapped. When I went to rescue her, she said she didn't want my help and that she'd fallen in love with her kidnapper.
Is it Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Fallen in love with her kidnapper.
Kidnapper. I'm sorry.
This is Gaston from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh. Gaston.
She shut me down several times, then didn't want my help when I tried to rescue her. Yeah.
There it is.
Okay. Let me see if I can find one more.
Okay.
Oh, you'll get this one. My brother was always better than me, and we were constantly compared. I also would never be king, which was frustrating. So I used my nephew to claim what was my birthright.
Oh, that's totally Scar in
Yep.
The Lion
Yep,
King.
that's it.
All
That's
right.
it. All right, that's what I got.
That's a fun quiz. It really makes you think.
Yeah.
Wow. Good BuzzFeed.
I think Gaston's is maybe the most reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I
she
like it.
really did get kidnapped.
Huh.
A lot of Stockholm syndrome.
A lot of
going on there.
weird stuff going on there,
Yeah.
but delightful movie.
Delightful.
Just delightful. Okay, so you're not here to hear us play games, but it's nice that you stayed.
Well, we assume they stayed.
They made it to this point. They stayed. I'm going to say, let's chat about Hercules.
Okay.
So this is a movie about, it's animated. It's about Hercules. And that's pretty much all I remember. I remember Hades has blue hair. With the fire hair, blue
And I
fire hair.
think was Billy Crystal
Was it?
is the voice of
Okay.
Hades.
All right.
Maybe. I could just be making that up, but I'm picturing a Billy Crystal voice on that blue hair.
Honestly, I know I've seen this movie, but the memory box where the memory should be is empty. It got cleaned out. It got formatted. I don't know what
Didn't
happened.
make an impression,
The
huh?
information is gone.
Okay.
I'm sure all the jokes are going to land.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So, yeah, what about you? What do you remember of this? Any impressions?
Okay, so I remember seeing this movie. I don't remember if I saw it right when it came out or not, but I do remember I saw it around the time it came out, and I liked it. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, my favorite Disney movie ever. I remember we sang a medley of the songs in choir from this movie.
Really?
And the songs are just like really fantastic and fun to sing.
I'm shocked that Disney didn't come knocking. Excuse me, Shawnee Mission West Vikings.
How dare you? It was in one of those like, here, everyone take the sheet music. So I'm sure they paid for it.
Okay.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. Well, it's probably a promotional piece.
I remember that there was a TV show on, and I think it was called Young Hercules. And so it was like adolescent Hercules, and he was going to high school. And
Wait, was this animated? Was this live action?
this was animated, and I think it was on the Disney Channel.
Really? Huh.
Disney Channel or like one of the cartoon channels.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember watching that and thinking that was kind of fun too.
Interesting. So I do have one more confession.
Yes.
Somehow, I know this is Greek mythology, kind of. Somehow I feel like the entire planet is educated on Greek mythology, but not me. I missed it. Maybe I took an extra PE class, maybe music. I don't know what happened, but
You just
suddenly
never picked it up.
everybody was like, "Oh, that's Spleedor, who's the guardian of Florax, and they push boulders around for fun." And then, ha ha ha.
Did you ever read The Odyssey?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
And maybe that's it.
Maybe. Did you ever watch Troy, the movie?
With Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
No, I did not. I heard there's butt cheeks in it, right? Is that no? I don't.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I worked at the movie theater when that was happening. when that was
And
there.
that was the talk of the movie
Talk
theater.
of the town.
Was
Everybody-
Brad Pitt's butt cheek.
Yeah, when can I come out and get the popcorn is pretty much, I don't know, refill the bucket.
Yeah,
So-
that's a good time. Yeah.
One question, or not question, one statement. I said, okay, I need to learn this. And I just kind of rediscovered the love of reading. That spark got lit. Mm-hmm. And so I bounced around with Percy Jackson. And I recently...
Did you make it through that?
No, I gave up.
No.
It was too childish for
Okay.
me. I'm like, I
Okay.
don't want to waste my time. It's
We could watch the movie.
maybe that could be fun.
Yeah.
But there's another book that was recommended to me, and I don't know the title or the author. So it's not going to be helpful to anybody, except that it's an English guy who goes around and does tours, and it's like he's really famous for doing it. And he'll do like little mini documentaries about, you know, this soccer complex or the United States or what, you know, what have you. It's not Andy Sedaris, but it's something.
James Corden.
Yes, it's James Corden. But it's something on that line. So he's kind of explaining it in normal terms, which I appreciate because I don't want to learn Latin.
I feel like there were a bunch of movies out that explained all these Greek myths.
One of them was Hercules.
Hercules was one of them. I'm trying to remember where I picked it up, but I feel like I kind of got it from everywhere.
Okay.
So I'm shocked you didn't
Yeah,
pick it up.
I just missed. I don't know. Oh, well.
So you kind of know more now after reading this book.
I only made it through like the first 5 pages. But then, like,
This is why you're not picking it up.
I just have so many interests. I'm like a little pinball that bounces around.
Oh,
I
well,
know.
maybe this movie will help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe re-spark that, which I was just thinking I needed to pick that book back up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling spry. Let's do some improv.
Oh, okay. All right. So Hercules, should we set the scene or just jump right in?
You know, the listeners are highly educated. I think they can paint a visual image with their head. Let's just lights up.
All right. Gather around, young lad, and I'll tell you the
thank you.
story of Jaos the messenger.
Chaos? Okay, I'll...
Sit down. Sit down.
Fine,
Stop
fine.
picking
Wait,
your nose.
Can I get one ice cream?
No.
Oh, okay.
You will
That's
listen, for this is an important story.
it. Okay.
Jaos
Chaos.
was a human man who became a messenger to the gods.
Messenger to the god.
Often they would send him on errands from Mount Olympus down to the earthly realms.
Like delivering pizza?
Yes, sometimes pizza.
What kind of pizza would they eat?
Usually Greek pizza.
Greek pizza. What's on Greek pizza?
Artichokes, olives, maybe some tomato. It's not important.
Okay.
So, Jaos was a very fast man. He ran very far. And so they sent him down to, like, pick up the dry cleaning and things. But one day, Jaos was running Zeus's club sandwich order to his favorite sandwich shop.
What was it?
Club sandwich?
No, what sandwich shop?
Oh, this has been lost
Is it Jimmy John's?
to history.
Did Jimmy John's ever have a club sandwich?
This has been lost to history. Quiet now.
Okay.
So Jaos passed a young woman that he thought was very beautiful. And she was
Did she have an eye patch?
writing Greek letters and numbers in the sand.
Oh.
Yes, she did have an eye patch. She, unfortunately, her eye was plucked out by a Poseidon.
Poseidon, what is that?
That's a whole nother story.
Huh, okay.
So he stops and greets the one-eyed maiden and says,
I think women with eye patches are very sexy.
and she was very turned on by this. So she turned around and started talking to him. And then the talking turned to smooching.
Wow. Is mom okay? with you telling me this story?
It won't go any further than that because Zeus got very angry
Zeus, was he
because
spying?
he's waiting for his sandwich, and his sandwich has not come
Was
yet.
he spying from the clouds?
No, he's just like, where's my sandwich? And he's looking at his watch, but Jaos is not there.
Okay.
He's busy smooching Andrana.
Andrana. Okay. Jaos and Andrana. Got it.
Anyway, as punishment for not bringing his club sandwich in a timely manner, Zeus decided to bury Jaos up to his neck in mud. And then every day, ducks would come up and sit on his head.
Why are you telling me
For
this?
all eternity.
Should I? Do I need to wash my clothes more? Maybe.
But after eternity was over, Jaos
Eternity can end.
after that, Jaos and Andrana were able to get married, and they had 15 children. And that's where you came from, my young boy.
Thank you, Grandma.
And scene. Greek mythology, right there.
101. I think
Yeah.
I'm up to speed.
Yeah, there you go. You know already about the myth of Jaos.
Wow. Should we watch the trailer? And maybe the myth of Jaos is in here.
It's probably not, but yeah, let's watch it.
Hear me and answer my prayer.
Hercules.
How do you become a true hero?
He kind of has a soft voice, right?
Your heart.
Walt Disney Pictures presents
Hi, I'm Hercules.
Stronger Than 10 Men. And having a devil of a time
Name is Hades, Lord of the Dead. Hi, how you doing?
trying to prove himself.
Get ready to rumble!
My favorite part of the game, sudden death.
So he's a dragon?
Come on!
Take off on an epic new adventure
I'm right behind you, kid! I'm way behind you, kid!
featuring a monster cast,
Guys, Olympus would be that way.
a hotshot villain,
I've got 24 hours to get rid of this bozo, and you are wearing his merchandise!
and one true hero. It's the man,
Hercules.
the myth,
I'm an action figure!
the movie,
And hey, 2 thumbs way, way up.
Hercules.
Well, it's a small underworld after all, huh?
Okay.
There it is.
I do remember the song Zero to Hero.
Yeah. I'm excited to see it. To
I think it'll be
honest. I
fun.
think it's going to be fun. Shall we?
I say let's do it.
2, 3, 4.
It's time for the movie!
Which remote do we use again?
I'll get the popcorn.
There could be spoilers.
We'll be back in
4, 3, 2, 1.
And we're back.
We are back. We just watched Hercules.
And do we have a super special surprise for you? We have, I'm going to say they're both experts on Greek mythology.
Oh, okay.
Jon and Sarah. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys.
Thanks for having us.
I didn't know I was an expert, but I'm really honored to have earned that title.
If you think about it, anybody that has access to Google is head and shoulders over what they considered experts 200 years ago. It's all relative.
Yeah.
There
That's
you go.
true. I don't mean to intimidate anyone, but I have read 2 Wikipedia articles tonight on Hercules.
Oh.
Maybe this should be your segment, your show now.
I read
She
them, and
might
I don't
be,
know if they've been updated recently, but I did do that.
Good. Well, first off, how did everybody like it? Sarah, let's start with you. How did you like this movie?
I love Hercules. So I've been doing some research and I realized it's not the most well-received Disney movie, but I've always liked it since I was a child, and rewatching it recently just kind of further solidified that.
Okay. How long had it been?
I'm going to guess at least 15 years.
Wow.
Or like 10 years at least, minimum.
All right. John, how did you like the movie?
Yeah, I thought it was enjoyable. As a Greek mythology expert, though, I did have some qualms with the story, but not entirely surprising. Like, how would you do the Hercules story for a Disney movie? I mean, how would you explain that Zeus, basically had a child with a mortal woman? So that makes sense. I think the bigger issue with Hercules is just if you think about it, he's just already so great. Like, they call him Wonder Boy. It's kind of hard to create his story or his struggle, in my opinion. I think you kind of have to reach for it. So it gets a little boring in that regard. But overall, I mean, it's really enjoyable. I think the music's good. Yeah. Andrea?
I love the music in this. And watching it, it's really hard not to sing along to it. The things about the story, they were kind of going for like a Rocky type thing. Come on, kid, you got to go to the distance. But then they also, I don't know, it was kind of a Superman thing where, he's already won. And so there's not really much of a struggle there.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah. Is if you're trying to do Rocky, like Rocky's he's literally a bum when he starts. He's not anything special, and that's sort of what makes that story interesting. Is here's this guy who's literally just fodder for the prize fighters, and then he gets turned into this great hero by the end of it. Whereas Hercules, he starts off super strong. He's the son of Zeus. Yeah, his mom's a god. He gets the best trainer.
So the Rocky theme maybe doesn't work very well because he's already
spoiler alert for those of us that haven't seen Rocky.
Jay, what'd you think?
I thought it was okay. I had more fun than I thought I would, but then there was also eye roll moments, and there's a lot of direction I didn't really care for, like the glyphs on pots coming alive to sing the story. I get it. It was cool.
Oh, come on, Jay.
Wasn't necessary. It felt a little bit too sugary, too much flashy, sugary, big, 90s. It was, but I loved the music. And actually I was surprised at the ending. There was a couple twists I did not see coming. So, all right. So let's jump into the play-by-play.
Okay. So we start out with the Muses. There's an intro, and they sing about when the world was new and the Titans and Zeus, and that's the gospel truth. We get that whole kind of intro. The Muses are on the pots. They pop out. They sing a song. Was this effective for setting up the story?
I think it was clever, but also I don't know. That wasn't my favorite idea they could have run with, I bet.
Yeah. I mean, I almost think you think about storytelling, and don't they always say try to start as close as you can to where the action happens? I feel like there was a lot of setup because, I mean, it's probably tempting to play in the whole Greek mythology world. Because it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of different things you can do. So yeah, I didn't mind all that stuff, but also I don't know if it really, I think the key word you said was effective. I'm not sure if it was necessarily effective toward this story.
And man, you guys are just a bunch of haters. Okay, I have to say, so okay, I don't know if you guys agree with me, but in my mind, Hercules as a film has some of the strongest music out of any of the Disney movies. And as a fan of Broadway musicals, can you just imagine, that opening sequence is so strong.
I would love to see this as a Broadway musical.
Oh my God, it'd be so cool. And I actually think you're just wrong, John. I mean, I love you, but I think you're wrong because like it does start out with the action, because like at the end when they say like that's the gospel truth, and then they start singing like that, like they're like, you know, like doing their gospel jam, and like then it like raises up to the clouds, then you're up in Mount Olympus. Like it starts out right there and Hercules is just born, so it like throws you right into it. I think that like since the music is like, in my opinion, the strongest part of the whole film, because I agree that there are imperfections in the storytelling and lots of other issues we can talk about, but the music to me is the strongest part. So since it starts out so strongly with the music, I think that is a strength of the film. It like pulls you right in.
Yeah, I agree with Sarah on that. Like I love some of like the way they design the characters and playing into the Greek pottery and that whole motif. Like I like the parts of the movie that really play into that, and I love the music. So I thought it was a good start.
I think Sarah convinced me.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so then we cut up to the baby, the new baby boy Hercules, and he is just a baby
Wonder
god,
boy.
wonder boy. Everybody's cooing over him. Everybody's flying around. And we're in Athens in the sky, and it's Mount Olympus, and it's amazing. And here's one thing. I was a little bored by it all. Like, I don't know, like Mount Olympus in my human brain before I saw this was much cooler than, but maybe it was just a little baby party. And
yeah, it was like a baby shower.
Baby shower, so okay. Anyway, Hades shows up. And
he's not a fan, turns out. I guess he doesn't like babies or whatever. But his only concern, he goes back down to the underworld, and we find out he has a plan to take everything over in like 20 years when all the planets align. And all he cares about is this kid gonna screw it up. So we meet the Fates, we meet Hades. Thoughts?
I don't love Hades. I think they missed the mark, and this bugged me the whole movie. He's like this funny, witty Jewish guy that's just kind of sitting in the corner heckling. You kind of like him, but he doesn't just. He's not a super evil, and I think, and this is a horrible confession, but what's the Descendants movie? They have Hades in that, and I actually like the Hades and Descendants more than I like Hades.
I don't even remember the Hades in the Descendants movie.
Yeah,
is the Descendants? That's a Disney spinoff, right?
Yeah, it's a musical TV show.
Disney Channel original, and it's like the kids of all the Disney villains.
Yeah, I've never watched it, but I'm familiar with it. Is it good?
Bumping into each other.
You know, with enough wine.
Yeah, I concur. I enjoyed it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Hades, I did say before it was Billy Crystal. It's not Billy Crystal, it's James Woods playing.
Yeah.
And I think they were going for like a car salesman, Hollywood agent type. But it felt like maybe he was funnier when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of his jokes didn't land for me.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind him as the villain. It was definitely like, a little different. And I think for like a villain that you're trying to be sort of like a double agent, like he's supposed to be one of the gods and part of their realm and in that world. So he's not supposed to be plotting against them necessarily. But so, I mean, you'd want it would have to be somebody kind of conniving like that. So that kind of makes sense to me. Okay. But yeah, it probably lost some drama somewhere in there. But I think that's, I think part of that though is I think maybe this movie where it might have fallen short is maybe it wasted time in some ways and didn't have time to actually set up some of the drama later down the road.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Interesting insight. Yeah.
I'm subscribing to that.
I'm kind of like with Jon a little bit more on this. Like, I don't dislike Hades as a villain. I actually think the casting was really good. And I really enjoy a villain where I can see like all these different sides of the villain. Like I like there to be some complexity, and like I don't like for the villain to just be like pure evil, because then it's like just too easy, to hate
That's
that
a good
character.
point. Yeah.
And I thought he came across as smart and like funny sometimes. I enjoyed him as a character. I think the bigger issue, like with that whole scene, and like it like sets the stage for the story, and like I just think the story, like Jon kind of mentioned earlier, is the story just isn't as strong as it could have been. And I think part of the problem after doing some research is that Disney kind of fabricated a lot of the story. And I think when you go way off script, you end up like having to make up a lot of things and like tie up loose ends. And I don't know. I just think, I don't know. They kind of just, the story has some problems. And I think that might be, in my opinion, that might be like maybe why some people don't like him as a character, because he just doesn't make sense. Like in Greek mythology, I guess Hades like wasn't even involved in Hercules' life at all, which is interesting. And like I also think it's hard to like cast a Greek god as like a villain when he's not necessarily a villain. He just happens to be like the kind of like the keeper of the underworld, So
yeah,
it's all very interesting.
They always try and equate Hades with the devil, because underworld, but in Greek mythology it was where everybody went after they died, was the underworld. So it's not really devil, he's just like keeper of the underworld. Yeah, and we can get into this when we talk about maybe some of the facts around the movie and how it was made, decisions that were made, but the original story wasn't Hera, Zeus's wife, kind of the bad guy in the Hercules story.
Yeah,
that would make sense.
Because Zeus had an affair with a mortal woman, produced baby.
Yeah.
Hera was angry and jealous and kept trying to kill said baby.
Ah.
Yep.
So, but
that would have been a tougher one to.
Yeah, that's a tougher one to sell
parents.
to children and parents in a Disney movie.
Actually, the story gets a lot more dark too.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. So yeah, I can
later,
see why they're like, let's find another bad guy. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all like drenched in Greek mythology at this point. Then we cut over.
Incorrect Greek mythology.
Incorrect.
But go on.
Asterisk. Baby's kidnapped by Hades. Hades has this brilliant plan. Hey, I'm going to make this little baby that's a god, a mortal, so I can kill him. Because we all know we can't kill gods because they're immortal. So he has some magic potion that turns the little baby into immortal. And every single drop must be consumed. But Hercules forgets to drink the last drop. And now he's on Earth.
He's mortal.
But
he has still a super strength.
Because of that last drop. Yeah. And now his... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, as a new parent, relying on a baby to... carry out your very complicated plan. Seems like part of his folly there, but he had to drink every last drop. It's one of those things there. It's just like, it had to be just so.
Yeah.
How often does that happen? Where a baby drinks every last drop? Never.
No, pretty much never.
Well, good news. Your child is a god still. Okay, so right away, almost no time passes, and humans just stray into the picture. And a baby.
We've always wanted a baby.
Let's take this baby home and raise it. And that's what happens. We get a nice little... what do you call a jump cut or a like montage? We see young Hercules, and let me tell you, young Hercules is not really popular, even though
he has not grown into his body yet.
Well, hang on, guys. I feel like we can't get into young Hercules yet without talking about what in my opinion, is the biggest plot hole of this whole movie.
Ooh.
Which is that. Well, first of all, I need to set the scene for you. John's going to start laughing because I had maybe had like 3 glasses of wine when we started watching Hercules. And when Hercules was stolen, kidnapped, I like started like sobbing. I like could not handle it. I was like, this is not okay. And then,
we had to pause it.
like when I woke up in the morning, I came downstairs and there was like a box of tissues.
Oh my gosh!
I was like, wow.
And we didn't really even think about that you guys you have a fairly new baby, and the whole first part of this is about a baby being kidnapped and murdered.
But the thing that's the most traumatic is like, okay, so this baby is taken away, right? And like he goes through this traumatic thing where like these snakes that are really monsters try to turn him into a mortal, and he like kills them, and then he's adopted by these lovely people, right? But that doesn't like so his parents are gods in this version of the story, and they're just like looking down and they're like, well,
oh well,
let's hope he can do this.
I guess we just let him be. It's like what? Like Zeus in this movie is portrayed as like the god, like the god of all the gods, and he can't be like, oh, hey, my son was stolen from me and I know exactly where he is. I can't just like pick him up and like take him back. It's like, what? Like, to me, I spent the next like 30 minutes of this movie, like as I'm recovering emotionally from that last scene, trying to like understand that, and it made no sense to me. So to me, like that's the biggest problem in the whole movie, because like then it's hard for me to sympathize with Zeus ever. Like Hercules is like trying to like, you know, like earn back, his like father's graces. It's like, why? So anyways, that's like my biggest qualm about the whole film. So I had to pause so we could talk about that.
Yeah. And sorry, we didn't think about the baby aspect.
I know.
Now I'm feeling bad.
Like, well, okay.
Like, here, watch this.
No, you should not feel bad.
Watch this and have a breakdown.
You should not feel bad. It was the wine. It was not the movie.
So this leads into my biggest problem of the film, and that is young Hercules, who's now in middle school, is not getting popular. Everybody hates him. He's an outcast because he's so strong and athletic. Like,
hold up. He's strong. He's not athletic. He is a klutz.
He is a klutz. But still, like, in my day, the strongest kid was sometimes the coolest kid. In this day, I guess this Hercules, not messing with this jabron.
He destroyed their whole marketplace.
He did.
Like,
yeah, I think that's the interesting thing, isn't it? That's just like, okay, well, this guy is literally a god. Like, how do we make him unlikable? And it's like, oh, he's just too strong. So it's a little lazy. Like at that point, like it's like, yes, everything's about how strong this guy is, including why people may not like him. But
yeah, I would have rathered him like have some
like an awkward personality or something.
Yeah, he just curses too much, or he's like the other political party that no one likes, or just
maybe he's a libertarian.
Yeah, he's just a troubled dude. Anyway. So
he sings the song "Go the Distance," which is that whole Rocky thing again, but really great song. And he finds out this medallion came with him when he was a baby, and his parents tell him this, and he decides to travel to Zeus's temple to find out who he is. Cut to Temple of Zeus. Jay, what do you think about this?
I liked the scene. I thought this was great. And in hindsight, I'm almost going to say appropriate, because it let Hercules grow and develop as a quote unquote human, superhuman. But then he realizes his true origin. And it was a nice moment. And that's where we learn he has to be a god to be allowed back up to Mount Olympus, a true god.
Did they say hero?
Or true hero.
True hero.
Yeah, that's right.
Not necessarily you become a god.
Yeah, be a true hero. And like he says it cryptically, like not just winning everything, but a true hero. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier. Like he's not super helpful as like a father. Like his kid has to go live down on Earth, and he just like, I guess I just won't see you for 18 years. Like doesn't even go visit.
Well,
he's like the worst father in all. Like I think like in like all of the Disney movies. Like the only other father that I can think of off the top of my head that's annoying is like Sleeping Beauty's dad, because he sends her away, but also he's trying to protect her, so he's still like way better than Zeus. You know, like if there's like a bracket, Zeus is like, you know, he's not making it out of the play-in. You know, he's just way out there.
We might have to add that to the list to do a worst father bracket of all the Disney fathers.
Brilliant.
I would take a look at that.
There should also be
Belle's
a worst mother bracket, though, too.
Well, most of them are absent.
Well, that's a whole thing, too. Like, they're either dead and, like, idolized, or they're, like, an evil stepmother. Like, what does that say?
Yeah. Worst father.
Don't trust your parents, kids.
Yeah, Zeus is pretty bad.
I'm gonna stick up for Big Z here, because we don't know.
Glad you came to see me, and he's got this dumb look in his eye.
We don't know the passage of time for Zeus. For him, it could have been half a second, and then look, he's 18. Let me, let's do this. But that's my only defense, because I don't know.
It's all relative to a god, right, Jay?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Zeus tells him to go find Philoctetes. Is that?
Yes.
The trainer.
That sounds right. Let's go with it.
Yeah. So he goes.
Sends him to go find Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. He's a man with a goat bottom and a man top, mostly.
And horns. And his main job in life is to train heroes, I think.
But so far, they've all had weaknesses and have all failed.
And we got a song about all the failures.
This is the only song I don't like in this. It is not memorable to me.
I agree.
Like, I can't even find the melody in this song.
Yeah, Danny DeVito's not a singer, I don't think.
Well, it's not gospel-y. Like, it doesn't really fit with the rest of the music. You know?
Yeah, I kind of felt like that throughout the whole movie. Like they were going for the Greek theme, but then there was stuff that like obviously didn't fit with everything else.
Like gospel music?
Yeah.
even though it was so good, I would agree.
Or they were doing like the Greek style animation, but then they had CGI Hydra that looked like way different from everything else.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah. That was weird.
So, yeah, it's almost like they needed someone to go in and make sure everything was consistent with everything else. I don't know.
So this is where we get a Rocky Balboa training scene. We get
montage.
Young Hercules training and sucking. And then time grows. And he stops sucking and he starts being awesome. And this is the big chested Hercules we're all used to seeing. And he's ready to prove that he's a hero. And so they go to, I forget, Thebes. I think it's Thebes.
Well, they're on their way and they hear, help me. And they swing down and they see a damsel in distress and decide Hercules has to go rescue her.
Yes.
Enter Meg.
This is an interesting scene because it kind of like lays the groundwork for their relationship, if you think about it, because like he's really innocent and he's really young. And I read this article earlier today about how Meg is like the OG Disney cougar princess because she's like worldly and she is obviously like an older woman. Like she's been in a previous relationship and she's like, fighting off like a predator.
The scene is there's a giant monster. There's a giant green ugly monster holding a little itty bitty Meg in his hand, and he's just like torturing, about attacking, killing, and and she needed a hero. Hercules offers his hand to help, and she's like, "Meh,
nah, I'm good."
But isn't it kind of sarcastic? Isn't she kind of like, oh, I'm doing fine, but like you can tell she's like, oh, like, do you think I need help? Like here I am, like clearly this is a problem, you know, like
and we do find out,
you know, because he's so innocent.
I think to play off of that, I think we do find out later that she was sent to go negotiate with, I think he was the River Guardian. Was that his name?
Yeah.
And so he Hades was trying to recruit him for his master plan. So I think that it didn't look great, but yeah, I think she was sent there to go deal with that guy.
Yeah.
So Hercules is smitten. She's like, okay, later, thanks for your help, but not really.
Also, this is probably like the first woman Hercules has ever seen. He's like, a woman.
He's like, whoa, a woman.
Yeah, he's like one of those werewolves from Twilight. He like imprinted on her. And he's like, this one's mine. No other women.
Yeah, she definitely is the first woman he encounters. So if he had encountered any other woman in that scenario, he probably would have fallen in love with them too.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
So then we find out Meg is actually working for Hades. We get that kind of whole backstory.
Well, enslaved to Hades.
Yes. Yeah, we get the whole story that she had sold her soul to Hades to like help her boyfriend, and then he ended up leaving her for some other girl. So she's a little jaded for obvious reasons. Hades has been using her to go do some of his dirty work and decides to use her to bait Hercules into his first fight with the Hydra. This was
a pretty cool scene because the people of Thebes, they so desperately need a hero because there's monsters, there's extreme weather. This town is getting hit left and right.
I was going to say, it's really the Houston of Greece.
So there's like groups of people just waiting for a hero, and Hercules comes up and he's like, I can be a hero. And they're like, yeah, sure. Once again, no one's believing him.
Everyone's so jaded in this world.
I know. They've seen heroes come and go. Well, there's this big fight in the desert with Hydra with a bunch of heads, and Hercules is whacking away at him. And every time a Hydra head falls off and two appear, he eventually defeats the Hydra, and people that are like watching this, including, isn't Hades there?
Yeah, he's there. He's kind of hidden, so the other people don't see him. But Hades thinks that it's going to be an easy.
Let's kill
him off,
Hercules.
Yeah, and then it doesn't work out.
And we're only, 1 or 2 days away from all planets aligning.
Yes. Which Jay, I think several times he's like, wait, why is Hades doing this? And I'm like, no, you remember the planets aligning thing.
Again, seemed forced.
There are some serious parts of this movie that like we need more information on. Like, why is that so important? like we know that it only happens like one, like in forever, but you know, I don't know. There's just not enough information. We're missing some stuff.
Somehow it opens up a portal, or I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's right. It like opens up that portal that allows for him to let those like evil monsters.
Yeah, I just feel like there's a lot of the movie that's just kind of wasted on a lot of setup, whereas like then when you actually get to the climax of the story, you're kind of like, wait, what? Like,
and then it's
like,
over.
Why was that important? Yeah.
This should have been a trilogy. There, I said it.
What?
Well, that would have been, there you go.
Yeah.
I kind of think Jay's right. I think it needed more time for character development. But then we would have realized how shitty of a dad Zeus was, and then no one would have watched it.
Oh, funny.
I can't believe that we haven't talked about the henchmen for Hades yet. Panic and Pain, right? Pain and
Oh,
Pain.
yeah.
Yeah.
It has that famous 90s voice actor, Bobcat Goldthwait, or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, he's on Wait, Don't Tell Me all the time.
I like Bobcat. These are, I would say, the only sidekicks, really, of the movie.
Well, Pegasus.
Pegasus is a sidekick.
Oh, I don't.
Phil is kind of a sidekick.
Phil, okay.
Yeah.
Pegasus, okay. All right.
All the other gods on Mount
Pretty much
Olympus.
everyone's a sidekick in this movie.
Okay, I'm wrong.
Meg's kind of a sidekick for Hades, if we're looking at it objectively.
Aren't we all someone's sidekick,
We're
though?
all someone's sidekick.
In my face. Okay.
Jay, aren't you Andrea's sidekick?
Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Most of the time. Okay. Phil, trainer, me. Oh, sorry. Zero to hero.
So, yeah, we go into the Zero to Hero song. And suddenly Hercules, the whole town loves him. He's defeating monsters. He's getting his own action figure. And
merch galore.
Merch galore. The air Hercs. The sandals that make you jump higher and run faster. Meanwhile,
I would have been all about that merch.
Oh,
if
man.
I was living in that town.
Yeah, I want one of those cups that looks like a ionic column.
That would be funny.
Or Corinthian, I'm not sure. I get my columns mixed up. Hades is scrambling because he didn't successfully kill this guy and his planets aligning activity is approaching. And then Meg and Hercules have a date.
This was a sweet little, like, 30-second in my mind moment where I think this is where Hercules realizes, okay, humans are great. I don't know. It was a good connection. And right at the end of the date, we see Pegasus fly in.
So they come flying in, they break it up. He goes away. Meg is by herself and sings what I think is the best song in the whole movie.
Yes, me too. I think it's one of the best Disney songs ever written. I'm just gonna say it. Like,
wow.
There needs to be a bracket for this. But like that song for me is like right up there with like Let It Go and Part of Your World and like the opening scene, like Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Like there's like some really, really good songs that like would translate really well into musical theater. And this is like the best one.
This one's pretty awesome. Yeah. We've got the Muses who are singing as her backup chorus as she argues with herself about whether she's in love with Hercules or not. And then Hades shows up again. Hades shows up. He's like, I think you're his weakness. Phil overhears it. Phil is upset because he realizes Meg has been double dealing, runs back to the big stadium they've built for Hercules' training and says, hey kid, she's betrayed you. Hercules gets mad, throws him against a like pile of weights, and Phil's like, screw this, I'm leaving.
Quick as that. You know, he gave up
it was
on
very quick. Yeah.
Gave up on old Hercules really fast.
And then Hades shows up and says, hey man, give up your powers for one day and I'll let Meg go free. And Hercules, being the Boy Scout he is like, okay, as long as she doesn't get hurt.
Well, and I thought, hey, this is maybe the true hero moment. I'll give up my strength to save her. What a true hero.
Turns out it was a trap, and now he's been betrayed.
Because the one day he lost his powers is the day the planets align.
And all of the Titans are released from their underworld cave that they've all been trapped in. And they want to murder Zeus.
And they try.
Well, they first go the wrong way.
Yeah. And Hades is like, guys, that way. And then the rock guy goes, Zeus! It was the funniest part of the movie. Yeah. I thought it was hilarious. Meanwhile, Hercules is trying to fight the Cyclops without any powers, and he is getting pummeled, which is pretty sad and like kind of hurts to watch a little bit. Meg goes and gets Phil, says, hey, you got to stop him from fighting. He's going to get killed. They come back. Then what happens? Somehow they figure out how to kill the Cyclops. And then Hercules gets his strength back because Meg like pushes him out of the way of a falling column, and she gets hurt. And so through the loophole agreement with Hades, somehow he gets his strength back.
Very confusing, but I'm sure it made sense to some writers at Disney headquarters.
Oh, isn't it because she got hurt? Because she got hurt, right? So like, that's why.
Yeah, it was part of the contract.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So she's hurt, but he's like, okay, you good
Jay
here?
doesn't believe us.
No, I believe you. It's just like there's all these built-in stipulations. It just feels too perfect, you know?
Hey, buddy, it's in the fine print.
You're right. You're right.
Always got to read that fine print.
Yes.
So Hercules gets his strength back, like immediately goes up to Mount Olympus, and like this is like anticlimactic almost, because the fight is like over almost immediately. Like he shows up, vacuums up the other Titans with the Cyclone Titan, and then bam, fight over.
Yeah, so I guess we're left to believe that Hercules, which he is a god, he has god powers obviously, but that he is stronger than all the rest of the gods combined. Like I can't remember, did the Titans, like, did they have a surprise attack? I feel like the rest of the gods were fighting them because Hermes came and warned them, played by Paul Schaefer. But
and they were like moving really slow. I remember they went the wrong way, and like, remember how slow they all were like going? Like they surely had plenty of time.
Yeah, so it's just kind of a weird, very anticlimactic, as Andrea said.
Yeah.
It's like
so
couldn't
the rest of them have done something?
This is where the second movie would have started.
The whole second movie is just this battle.
Yes, like Lord of the Rings,
Lord
too.
of the Rings style.
Yeah. Okay. So right away, Hercules kicks butt with those people. He ends up somehow down in Hades.
Hold on.
Okay.
Meg has died.
That's
from
right.
her injuries.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And Hercules is like, okay, I'm gonna go get her.
What a hero.
Goes down to Hades.
Which is like, okay, can we just pause and say that's like what his dad should have done like 18 years ago?
Yeah.
Like
he goes down to Hades. He dives into the like green souls whirlpool that will instantly kill him to retrieve her soul that is like circling the drain down there. Gets her. The fates are about to cut his string, and suddenly it turns golden, which I guess means he's
a god.
He's become a god through this act. Rescues her, brings her soul back to her body, and now he's a true hero. He gets his constellation in the sky. He gets welcome back to Mount Olympus. Everyone sings. Movie over.
Well, the one twist. Zeus says, boy, you have done it. Welcome back into Mount Olympus. And
now
he goes,
you can receive your mother's and my love.
And he's like, no. I'm going back to Earth where I can be with Meg. Movie over.
Movie over.
Yeah.
Movie over.
there's a really good song at the very end, but yes, then the movie is over.
A Star is Born.
Yeah.
It's a good song to sing in a choir.
You know,
speaking from experience.
Or in your car with your baby who can't tell you she hates your singing yet.
Yes.
Okay, so let's do my absolute favorite segment of the show. And that is our newest one, and that is Leadership, Morality, Fashion, Singing, and X Factor.
The Disney Princess's 5-point princess score is...
So we have decided Meg is a Disney princess, and we will be rating her on the 5-point princess scale. Let's begin.
Yes. Okay. So
all right, leadership. This works. It's a score from
1 to 5.
I guess 0 to 5 if you really hated them. But yeah, 1 to 5, 5 being awesome, 1 or 0 being really terrible. You can provide a rating. All of us will provide our own rating, and then we will justify our answers. So let's start with leadership.
I'll go first. I'll give Meg a 3 for leadership. I mean, she owned her bag pretty well. She knew what she had done. She knew where she was, with Hades, and she even hopped on old Pegasus and went to Phil. He went to Phil, or she went to Phil.
So she got people organized. Yeah. All right.
But she didn't rise up. So I'm giving her a 3 on leadership.
Okay. Sarah, John?
I actually totally agree with Jay. I'm going to give her a 3 as well for really similar reasons. I think that there are moments in the film where she clearly takes a back seat and doesn't act. But then there are other moments where she clearly stands up to Hades or clearly, wants to be in charge of her own fate or lead others. And I think that, she's kind of middle of the road. I think she does some actions, but not enough to really get too far in that category.
John?
I'd give her at least a 4. I actually think she's a better leader than you might think at first, because she does take charge in different parts of the movie, and she definitely thinks for herself. I think she's been dealt a bad hand. So I mean, if we're comparing her to other Disney princesses, she kind of has a rough lot at it, but I think she's done a good job. Yeah, I'm gonna give her 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking 2.5. Because she did have that moments towards the end where she's getting people organized, and she has moments where she's kind of a take charge kind of gal. But that's kind of overshadowed by the other moments when she's really just looking out for herself.
Now, morality. I will give her a 3 again, just because it seemed like she was almost broken at the beginning. She was ready to watch old Herc die. She maybe whisper, "Look out, a giant monster. I hope you don't die." It wasn't, she knew.
Best line in the movie.
Yeah. But then towards the end, you saw her breaking good. She's like, "No, this is right. This is just." It seemed like she got burned so many times. She was over being moral at the beginning.
Sarah?
I'm so torn on this one because in the beginning you see her doing some really immoral things, but you have to remember that the reason why she got there is because she did something that people would view as moral, really trying to put herself before others to save this boyfriend that she probably thought was the love of her life. So I think I'm going to actually give her a 4. And at first I was going to give her something much lower, but the more I think about it, she does a lot of self-sacrifice in this, for Hercules, for this previous boyfriend. And even though she has some questionable morals at times, I think that she's going through some mental health issues that are clearly there's no pharmacist that can help her in this point in time. So that's where I am at.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to give her at least a 4. I'm going to say a 5. I think you have to put her in context. So I don't think you can judge her on the same scale as your average Disney princess who, maybe has their trials and tribulations, but not quite like this. She literally is in the service of Hades because she did something good and then she got kind of screwed over. So I'm going to give her a 5. I think she's surprisingly moral considering the hand she's been dealt.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm convinced by this. I'll give her a 4, because even like sacrificing for Hercules, for the previous boyfriend, even being willing to sacrifice her own freedom to not throw Hercules under the bus mid-movie when Hades is wanting her to find his weakness. So yeah, in context, like she's really about as good as she could get from that angle.
Fashion. I'm going to give her, this is where I'm going to give her a 4. I thought she had nice big hair. I like that. She, if memory serves, she was in a maroon outfit. Purple. I like purple. It works.
Oh. Andrea, are you taking notes?
Purple.
She's wearing a purple jacket right now.
I'm wearing a purple jacket. My hair is not big, though. To go tease it up later.
Yeah, is she doing like a high pony? Is that what they call that?
I think I read on the internet that like the animator tried to draw her like a vase.
Like a vase?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Is that why she has like no waist at all? I'm actually impressed by her lack of waist. I'm like, she must not eat.
She has no time.
She has no time. She's too busy scheming for Hades. I'll give her a 3 on fashion. It was a nice dress. She wore it well. Her purple eyeshadow matched her purple eyes, which matched her purple gown. So very coordinated. Yeah, I like what she's doing with her hair. And it looks like she took the time to curl it and make it look nice. So, yeah. Oh.
I was going to do a 3. I think it was just okay. I don't think she had one costume change or anything like that.
Well, none of them did.
Yeah.
We really didn't get to see a whole lot of like variety of fashion. Not that that's like a big deal, but like, I don't know. I think it was okay.
Sarah? I'm going to give her a 3 as well. Okay. But I also just want to say that I think it's really hard to rate fashion in this movie because everyone is wearing some sort of variety of like toga. So, yeah, I mean, I thought it was fine, but I mean, for all we know, Hades was like, you have to wear this, you know?
That's true. Context.
Yeah.
Or she could have chosen that in defiance of Hades. I'm going to wear this, she says.
Hashtag leadership.
Yeah.
Hashtag leadership.
Okay, so singing.
I thought she sang the heck out of
that
song.
I'm going to give her a 5 on that.
Oh. I'm going to give her... See, I'm looking at the other 5s we've given. And we've given 5s to Ariel, obviously. A 5 was given to Belle for singing. And a 5 was given to Cinderella. Okay, I think she's probably a 4.5 for me.
I'm going to give her a 5 just because that song is so incredible. But something interesting I'm thinking about is how it's the only song she sings. But I don't mean that to minimize it, because I think that like the performance of that song is actually superior to, I mean, as you all have heard me say, like throughout this whole podcast, is like, I think that song is incredible. So I think she deserves a 5 just for that.
John?
Yeah, I'd give her like I'm gonna agree with Andrea. I'm gonna give her a 4.5. I think the song was great. Yeah, no qualms there. So
X Factor. I think I'm going to actually give her a 2. I don't think she had much special going on. She didn't have any powers. I mean, the only thing she really did, she didn't have any sidekicks. The only thing she did was put her foot down and say, I'm going to do the right thing, and started helping Hercules.
But she had sass.
Sass.
Yeah.
Could be the X Factor. But I'm going to stick with it.
Oh my God, I'm going to go so opposite of Jay here. I'm going to give her a 5. And okay, so parents, if you're listening, I'm going to say her X Factor was sex. So kill me now. Ooh. But I'm just saying, okay, listen, I mean, I'm serious. Okay. She is the most unique Disney princess that we have. She is the only Disney princess that we know is probably not a virgin, that we know has been in previous relationships, that has gotten into trouble, that is being punished for something. She just has like she just has like this chip on her shoulder because she's lived life. Like so many Disney characters, including Hercules, have not lived much of life. They're all at the very beginning of their lives. And while she's still young, she has lived, like she has seen the world and she has been burned. So to me, that's a really unique X factor that I don't think any other Disney princess can contribute.
Yeah. I'm going to do the smart thing here and agree with my wife. No, I agree. I think she might be the best thing about the movie in a lot of ways because of the type of character that they're presenting. You think about, all the different Disney princesses, and a lot of them, a criticism nowadays is a lot of them kind of fit into a mold. And she definitely broke the mold, especially for, what was this, 1997, we said?
Yeah.
So I would probably give her, I'm going to say a 4, but I think that's really good still. I think that she definitely has X factor, and like she's like definitely, in my opinion, one of the better parts of the movie.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with all that, and I'm tempted to. Sarah, you're very good at convincing me over to your point of view.
But don't let me convince
I want
you.
to
You
give
don't
her
want to.
for the feminists. I want to give her a 5.
You should give her what feels right.
I'll give her a 4. Like there's some really incredible things about her. All the things Sarah mentioned, like she's just so different from any other Disney female lead we've seen. And yeah, maybe one of the best characters in the movie because she's got the complexity. She's making difficult choices. And we see her find her way through that to a place where she ends up with something really good in the end and kind of finds herself again. So yeah, she is a really special character, and yeah, I'd give her a 4.
I think you have to give her a high, and no offense to Jay, but I think you should give her a high X Factor score, because if you think about it, she was the X Factor in the penultimate battle at the end there, where had she not made that sacrifice, they don't turn the tide. So
she was the one who got Hercules his hero status. He would not be a hero if she hadn't first sacrificed.
And the kind of unique thing I'm thinking about now about her also is that she had to let history repeat itself, and she had to trust herself and Hercules enough to do it, because she once again found herself in a situation where she had to give all of herself to help save someone she loved, and she previously didn't think she could ever do that again. Like she had to like completely relive that.
I'll give her a 3.
Yes.
Oh man, you changed Jay's score. Okay, so guys, the results.
Let's hear the results.
Out of 10, Meg is in second place behind Belle.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So she made her way far up that list.
Way to go, Meg.
Way to go, Meg.
Yeah.
I think she does stand out. So I think that's a good thing. I think people need different types of stories.
Yeah.
That they're exposed to. So.
All right. Now let's move in to
Here are true facts about
Hercules. And so we'll just do a quick fact off. Let's have some fun. I'll lead it off. Hades says, relax, it's only halftime, right in the middle of the movie.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so in 1997, the girl group that was really huge was the Spice Girls. And they were originally considered to play the Muses.
No way.
Yeah. But then they, I guess, decided to go another direction, or maybe the Spice Girls didn't want to do it.
10-year-old Sarah would have oh my God, I'm not going to curse, but I would have like lost my mind. Like that would have been like next level for me. But as 33-year-old Sarah, I am so glad that didn't happen.
Would have definitely been a different movie.
Yeah, I don't think it would have held up as well for me. But
So
that's hilarious.
Hades was scripted as a slow, menacing character until James Woods took the role and impressed the crew with his rapid fire style. Even after the script was rewritten, Woods still ad-libbed many of his lines. So he pretty much owned it.
Mm-hmm. So Go the Distance got nominated for Best Original Song for this movie, but lost out to, wait for it, My Heart Will Go On from Titanic.
Of course.
Yeah, that's predictable.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I don't think Go the Distance is even one of the top 2 songs in this movie. That's interesting. Probably that Michael Bolton sang it, right? Was that the Michael Bolton song?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Oh, did he do the singing for Tate Donovan?
Not the singing for Hercules, but I think he did, like, you know how Disney...
I think he wrote it.
Oh, the one at
Maybe
the
so.
end? The cheesy...
Yeah, like remember when you'd watch it on VHS and there would be like a music video at the end? I think that he did like the music video version.
I can hear him singing it right now with those amazing long locks of his.
So the animators spent 6 to 14 hours to render a single frame of the Hydra, depending on how many heads it had.
Wow.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Is that a job that you would want, Jay?
I mean, back in 1997, I could believe that. And hopefully they had a computer to render it. I don't think they're like cranking, manual knobs or something to render. But yeah, that's crazy.
So Susan Egan played the voice of Meg. She is also known for being the original Belle on Broadway's Beauty and the Beast. And very excellent singer and actress, and she did quite well in this movie.
So apparently the shooting star Hercules sees during Go the Distance is actually Pegasus watching over him.
Aww.
I know. I don't know how they figured that out, but
for the Spanish language dub of this movie, Hercules' voice was played by Ricky Martin.
No.
Both singing and acting. Yes. So at some point, I want to track down the Spanish language Hercules.
Oh my God, that is incredible.
Have you guys heard of the Wilhelm Scream?
Oh, that's different.
Hang on. Yeah, you did the goofy scream.
The goofy, okay.
Did you hear that?
I'm vaguely familiar, but
This is a famous screaming sound effect that can be found in numerous films throughout time. I guess it was a scream sound effect that just took off, and every sound audio engineer wanted to use it. The Wilhelm Scream is in this movie somewhere. I don't remember where.
So
yeah, there's some cameos in this movie. I remember I heard like, oh, do you guys remember Scar. There was a yes?
Yeah.
You remember Scar?
Uh-huh.
That was the dead body of Scar being paraded.
A little morbid.
Yeah, it's a little dark.
So I got a fact on our friend Meg. So Megara is her Greek name, I guess, is essentially a merge between all 4 of Hercules' wives.
What?
In the mythology.
He had 4 wives?
Yeah.
At the same time?
I don't know.
I thought Megra was just his first wife, and like in the Greek myth, he murders her.
Oh, really?
Oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah, he murders her. So in the Greek myth, what happens is he marries her, and then he murders her, and then he murders all of their children, and then he has to like fight all these monsters to like gain back his like acceptance. And that's like that's the real story. Wow. So that's like
shocker that Disney didn't make that.
Yeah, reason number 1,000,000 why they changed the story.
There had to have been a better character they could have like. I know they wanted to dip into Greek mythology, but there had to have been a better one, right?
Right.
Well, I mean, there's Oedipus who kills his father and sleeps with his mother. There's
why didn't they just do the Odyssey?
Yeah, they could do the Odyssey.
I think he wasn't the best too.
All right, let's do a couple more. I got one. As Meg and Hercules are falling in love in the park, Meg gets poked in the back by Cupid's arrow.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yep, I did see that.
I remember that.
This movie was widely panned in Greece. They hated this movie in Greece.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the quote from one of their newspapers was, this movie is foreigners distorting their history and culture to suit their commercial interests. So they were not happy with this movie at all.
Andrea, I also read that like Disney wanted to have the premiere in Greece, and the Greece government said that they weren't allowed to.
Yeah, they said no way. You cannot. Yeah.
Can we take a second though here for a second, based on what we just said a few seconds ago?
What did they expect?
So Greece is. They are enraged that this American movie company is besmirching the good name of a wife and child killer.
Yeah.
How dare you?
That's an excellent point.
I say good day to you, Disney.
Oh, man.
Funny.
Actually, if you go to Disney Wiki, which is the Wikipedia devoted to all things Disney, they're like half of the article is just about this movie's parallels to Superman.
Really?
Yeah, they said they weren't basing it off the Greek myth. They were basing it off of Superman. Meg is Lois Lane, and they have all these even some of the fights are really similar to fights that happen in the Superman movies. It is a whole thing.
All right, last fact I got. In Zero to Hero, in Zero to Hero, one of the Muses sings, "Who put the glad in gladiator?" However, gladiators were not.
They're Roman.
Were a Roman invention, not Greek.
Also, Hercules is the Roman name. The Greek name is Hercules.
Whoa!
But Disney thought it would be more recognizable as Hercules, so they just used the Roman name.
And also, if you think about that lyric, it's kind of horrible because I don't think very many gladiators were glad. Like most of them slaves.
They were slaves.
Like
they did not want to go in there and die. Yeah,
they're having fun. On that note,
Wheel of morality, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn. Moral number 1. And the moral of today's story is...
Jon and Sarah, what is the moral of Hercules?
I think the moral of this story is you should really think through a project before you fully commit to it.
Explain.
I'm not following.
Because I feel like from what I've read online about this movie, so the people that pitched this movie pitched lots of other ideas, and the head of Disney at the time chose this one because he thought it would be the most profitable. And so Disney sunk so much money into PR for this movie and all this stuff, and they totally rewrote the story. And like you said, it might have been loosely based off of Superman. I think they were riding this high of some of these Disney movies that did so well at the box office, that while they did some things super well, there were lots of issues. And I think that they just didn't think it all the way through. They just were like, we are Disney. We've done awesome stuff. The music's good. It's going to make me a ton of money. So I just think the moral of the story is is like they just should have, like put a little bit more thought into it, like slowed it down a little bit.
Yeah. No, I think that's good.
Yeah.
I'm there with you.
Yeah, I think it's hard to. This one's tough because he's just so privileged already that they even struggle with what is his struggle. He's just a really strong guy who's descendant of gods, and he has the best trainer, and he has a flying horse. So like, I don't know, like I struggle with what's the actual moral of the story, but
you gotta go the distance.
You gotta go the distance.
Being a hero is about more than just winning everything. Wasn't that the one they were pushing at us?
Yeah, I could see that.
But
like,
Meg was the real hero, I think.
Yeah, Meg was the hero. We spent most of this conversation talking about other characters besides Hercules. Like, I think that's the main takeaway is like,
that's a very good
Hercules
point.
himself is like not like he's likable, but he's like your little brother. I mean, he's not, he ends up being the hero, but like he wasn't really the hero of the movie.
There's not a lot of complex thought going on with him.
Yeah.
And I think they could have done the Hercules thing even better, or this would have been more interesting to me. I just thought of like, if he was just this super arrogant, awesome jock at the beginning, and he had to come around and figure out what being a hero was really all about, that would have been more interesting than, he's just too strong.
He's a little klutzy.
He's a little klutzy.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we have reached the end of our show. I must reach out a giant thank you to Jon and Sarah.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys killed it. That was so fun.
Thank you for having us.
Oh,
yeah, thanks for having us.
I'm going to come knocking many more times. You can count on that. So
I think we'd be up for it.
Yeah. All right. Tune in next time because we are going to watch Mulan.